All right, this meeting's called to order. This is the South Carolina Contractors Licensing Board meeting, July 30th, 2026. Statement of public notice. Public notice of this meeting was properly posted at the Synergy Business Park, King Street Building, and on the agency's website, and provided to all requesting persons, organizations, and news media in accordance with Section 30-4-80 of the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. Item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. There is one modification. There is a continuance for item 10E. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda as modified?
So moved.
It's approved. Okay, moving on to item 4, introduction of board members and others. I'll start. My name is Scott Appleton. I'm the chairman of the South Carolina Contractors Licensing Board, and I represent the General Contractors Chair.
Charlie Gwynn, Advice Council.
Keith Lindler, I will represent the public.
Williams, I represent Fire Protection, Fire Sprinkler.
Good morning, Court Walsh, Vice Chair. I represent the public.
Dan Lyman, I represent the security industry.
Morning, Kim Lineberger. I represent the Highway Division.
Good morning, Terry Markham. I represent Public Utilities.
Okay, so moving on, we've got some absences to approve. So Ed Gibbs cannot be here, and Lee Richardson cannot be here. So do I have some motion to approve absences?
Motion to approve.
Second.
So approved. All right. Okay, next on the agenda is item 6, approval of the meeting minutes from our April 30th, 2026 board meetings, and it's on page 2 and 213 in our packet. So I'll let you guys take a look at that, and then I'll hear for a motion to approve those minutes. Do you have a motion?
Chairman, I make a motion that we accept these as presented.
Good.
80 minutes are approved. Okay, moving on, board chair remarks. Only remark I have is, so for the respondents that are in the audience and then also the applicants, when it's your turn, you'll be coming up to this, where this gentleman is sitting, Mr. Smith, when it's your turn. So that's where you'll come to start the discussion about your application or your hearing. Okay, so moving on, staff reports. Item 8A, Board Executives Report, Mr. Eversfield.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just a quick legislative update. House Bill 4730 was ratified and signed by the governor on May 15, 2026, and resulted in modifications to Chapter 11, Title 40 of the South Carolina Code. I provided a copy of this bill in your board binders right behind the agenda, as well as a copy of the current notice building departments based on the board's interpretation you all provided 2 years ago. Molly Price is doing further research on this bill since it's more of a building code related bill, and she may be able to provide more information about this bill as she learns more. My report for you all today is pretty short. The licensure statistics are on pages 15 through 18 of your meeting materials. There are currently 12,020 licensed general contractors and 7,833 licensed mechanical contractors. There are currently 547 licensed burglar alarm companies, 6,860 burglar alarm registered employees, 418 licensed fire alarm companies, and 239 licensed fire sprinkler companies. The burglar, fire alarm, and fire sprinkler renewals will end tomorrow, Friday, July 31st, 2026, and general contractor renewals will open next week, the beginning of August. The PSI exam report starts on page 19 of your meeting materials. Since the last board meeting on April 30th, 2026, there have been 1,280 total exams taken for licensure with an overall pass rate of 58.28%. And the next board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, October 1st, 2026, in this same room. And that concludes my report.
Next, we have Office of Investigations and Enforcement. Mr. Smith.
Morning, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen. The first is the investigative review status report. And as of January 1 of 2026 through July 20th, 2026, there have been a total of 372 cases or complaints filed with this board. We have currently 66 cases that are active. We have closed 240, and there are 66 cases still pending other actions. For the burglar alarm and fire alarm division, January 1 of 2026 through July 20th of 2026, there have been 10 complaints filed with this board. There is one case active, 6 cases have been closed, and 3 cases pending other actions. This is just for your information only. Move on to the investigative review conference report for the IRC on July 16th of 2026. You can see we've been a little busy. We have 27 cases for dismissal for your approval. We have 14 cases for formal complaint. And 8 cases for citations. For the burglar and fire alarm, there is 1 for your approval for a dismissal. This you'll need to vote on.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the IRC reports for 7/16/26? That's the contractors and also burglar alarm.
Make a motion to accept the RSC reports.
Second.
It's accepted. Thank you.
Sir?
Next is the Office of Disciplinary Counsel. Mr. Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The Office of Disciplinary Counsel report is provided in your materials. It is for information purposes only. It does not require a vote by the board. We appreciate the board's patience as we work through a good number of cases. I believe I introduced y'all to Ms. Donato before the the meeting started. She's just started with us, and she's going to help us tackle the number of cases we have for y'all. And unless there are any questions from anybody, obviously we can address 2 of them today.
Questions for Mr. Elliott? Okay, so moving on to the final order hearings. This is item 9 in the agenda. And the first one is 9A, which is 2026-218. Closed session. So just the respondent can come on up. I think it's Mr. Coffey? Yes. Yes. Everyone can leave the room.
Make a motion to go in closed session.
Okay, so closed session it is. So we're out of closed session. All right. So we're moving on in the agenda to item 10A, Kerr Roofing and Sheet Metal, initial application. So if you, whoever's with this group, come up here and sit. Yeah, over here. Yeah. You can pull it right behind. Yeah. That's fine too. Yeah. All right, this hearing is called to order. A quorum of the board is present. This matter is being held in person with proper notice given to the applicant. This is the matter of Kerr Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC, CLG, Zachary Kerr, CQG, PQ. Does any member of the board have reason to be recused from consideration of this application? The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether the company Kerr Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC can be approved for initial licensure as a general contractor with Zachary Kerr as a primary qualifying party. This hearing will be held in accordance with the relative provisions of the Board's Practice Act and in compliance with the provisions of the South Carolina Administrative Procedures Act. Everyone is reminded that these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the chair. Mr. Eversfield, is a complete application package in our materials?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What questions did staff have concerning this application?
Mr. Kerr submitted a general contractor's initial application and primary qualifying party initial application to the board on March 7th, 2026 for a Group 5 general contractor's license with the roofing classification and himself listed as the owner and primary qualifying party. Background question number 1 on the initial application was answered yes. This question states, has this entity or any owner, officer, partner, or member of this entity been convicted of, pled guilty or nolo contendere to a crime other than a minor traffic offense? In this application, felony and misdemeanor criminal convictions were disclosed, mostly consisting of drug-related offenses, with the most recent felony conviction occurring in 2022. The application, it was determined that the applications could not be approved at staff level due to items appearing on Mr. Kerr's criminal background report. In reviewing this application, staff reviewed South Carolina Code Sections 40-1-110, 40-1-130, 40-11-110, subsection A8, and 40-11-130, subsection A9.
Staff subpoena any other persons to be here today to answer questions we might have?
No, sir.
Okay. The applicant present? Okay. Are you represented by attorney? No, sir. Okay.
Speaking to the microphone.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing in this matter?
Yes, sir.
So is respondent Zachary Kerr electing to waive that right and represent himself?
Sir.
Is respondent Kerr Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC electing to waive that right and have respondent Zachary Kerr represent it pursuant to a written authorization of corporate representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do we have that in the record?
I'm sorry.
The documentation of? Yeah. All right. Do you have any witnesses you're going to want to talk on your behalf or speak to on your behalf?
Yeah, I brought 2 people with me. This is David. He works for me, and he's a character witness. And this is James, and he's a professional and character witness as well.
Okay, so we're going to swear everyone in at this time. So if you can turn over to the court reporter and be sworn in. And can we get the full names, okay, for the record?
David McKinney.
Okay?
James David Ross.
All right. Is the applicant ready to show us why you should be approved for a for your license?
Yes, sir.
So I guess go ahead and proceed. It's up to you how you want to kind of address what you heard staff say. Hey, we can't approve the application based on the record. So if you want to start there, what happened, what went on, and then you can get to your character witnesses later. It's up to you, though. Okay.
Okay. I just want to say that the last conviction was in 2022, but that was because of COVID. And it was actually 9 years since I've gotten in any trouble. So that charge was 9 years ago, and then 2022 I went and dealt with the charge. Since then, I've got a residential license. I went in front of the board. I've held my license in good standing for 3 years. We give back to the community. We sponsor youth programs and sports programs in our neighborhood. We work with other sober living type situations, as well as hire people in sobriety to further their own sobriety and be successful. I don't know, other than that, I mean, right now we do a lot of the work for a lot of contractors in our area, doing the same thing that we could be doing for ourselves, and I've done that for several years, and I've shared documentation of some of the aerial photos of complete exterior jobs that we completed with metal and flat roofs, gutters. The entire exterior has been done by us in several of those locations. So we definitely I have the experience to, move forward with the license, and, I've got the help to do that as well.
Yes. You want to keep going, or do you want to have some character witness talk about you? And I guess, I don't know if you wrote in here, is it in the documentation that what actually transpired back, I guess, if you're saying it's 2013?
Yeah, it was like 19, 18, something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was 9 years since 2022, but
No, since now.
now,
From
okay,
now,
okay,
yes.
understand. So what happened to get you arrested, I guess?
So most of my life I was a drug addict, and I went in and out of jail, just always getting in trouble. I started roofing about 20 years ago, and I was kind of in and out of that. And then 9 years ago I got in trouble, and I was just done doing what I was doing, and I decided to start a business. And really, it wasn't the intent to go as far as that I am now. It just kind of snowballed from there and has grown into a lot bigger. It's just kind of how it worked out, I guess.
I'm just reading the document 142. Does anyone have questions for him right now?
Mr. Kerr also provided a background explanation sheet. It starts on 105, if you guys want to check that out.
Mr. Kerr, you were saying that you also have a residential builder's license?
No, just a residential, the specialty license.
Okay, got it. And so all these matters were presented as a part of that process, right?
So,
Like,
yes,
okay.
yes, they approved me at that level. They required me to carry a bond, and I've carried that through the last couple of years.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I'm still current with that.
Thanks.
Speak to your sobriety, or what changed to make you, I mean, I assume you're currently doing drugs?
No, sir.
So, I mean, you haven't spoken anything to say what happened, what's changed, if there was a change.
He does, and that's fine. I'd like him to speak on that too, but he did identify that he's gone through 2 outpatient rehabilitation programs, and that's in the document. That's on page 103. But you want to answer Mr. Williams?
Sure. Essentially, I had just gotten out of prison and was within a few months, I got in trouble again, and the charges that I were looking at were pretty severe, and with my record, it would have been an extensive amount of time that I was in there. So I went to the drug treatment to try to, figure something out with that. And for me, it was just better to stay sober than it was to go back to using drugs again. And now I just try to give back as much as I can to other people in my, that I know.
Got a question. You said you have a residential specialty. What is that in? Thank you.
Roofing, siding, and carpentry.
Eversfield, you might can answer. My understanding, that's just a registration, so I'm not sure if any of this would, in a registration process. It requires 2 or 3 recommendations.
No, they required me to go in front of the board as well. The same situation.
Right, okay.
If you want to present your character witnesses at this time, that might be.
So James Ross, I met Zach in 2017. I've always been in the roofing world, either project manager, branch manager, superintendent, watched him grow. I was a project manager at Alpha Omega. He started working for me then, kind of built a relationship, seen what he was about. Moved from Alpha Omega to Bone Dry, was a PM there. He always did work for me there. Now I've moved on to Keating Roofing, and I'm the branch manager of Keating. So I've known Zach and worked side by side with Zach. The quality of work he does, his word's good. Never seen him out of character. He always comes through. He's a great new generation of roofers, contractors, and would really like to see this through for him because we've been working together for years.
And I've also known Zach for quite a while. I knew Zach, during the times of his past. I myself got sober 2019. I went to treatment, and when I came back home to Charleston from treatment, Zach is one of the first guys I ran into, and I think he had just started up his business. I later went on to work as a project manager for a contracting company doing residential stuff, and reached out to Zach, had been in touch with Zach, and let him do our roofs, our gutters, a lot of work for us. He had been asking me to come work for him, and here recently I kind of took him up on the offer. One of the things about my sobriety in AA is honesty, integrity, and helping others, right? That's what I do to continue my sobriety, and that's what I see in Zach. And so I have faith in what he's doing and look forward to seeing a future with him, so.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Is there any additional relevant evidence that you want us to consider?
No, sir.
All right. Is the board ready to make a decision or go into executive session? I'll listen to any motion.
I would make a motion that we approve his application.
Second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Any discussion? So no. All right. So you're approved. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
When we've done in the past, if they start. Okay. Okay, sorry. We'll go ahead. Next item is item 10B, Pro Circuit Electrical LLC, Cody Schultz, initial application. All right, this hearing is called to order. A quorum of the board is present. This matter is being held in person with proper notice given to the applicant. This is the matter of Pro Circuit Electric LLC, CLM, Cody Jarrett Schultz, CQM 31920PQ. Does any member of the board have reason to be recused from consideration of this application? The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether the company Pro Circuit Electric LLC can be approved for initial licensure as a mechanical contractor with Cody Jarrett Schultz as the primary qualifying party. This hearing will be held in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Board's Practice Act and in compliance with the provisions of the South Carolina Administrative Procedures Act. Everyone is reminded that these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the chair. Mr. Eversfield, is a complete application package in our materials.
Yes, sir.
What questions did staff have concerning this application?
Mr. Schultz submitted a mechanical contractor's initial application and primary qualifying party revision application to the board on March 6, 2026 for a Group 1 mechanical contractor's license with the electrical classification and himself listed as the owner and primary qualifying party. Mr. Schultz was previously an additional qualifying party for Melton Electric Co., Inc., CLM 2182, until he submitted the applications in question. Background question number 1 on the application for licensure was answered yes. This question states, has this entity or any owner, officer, partner, or member of this entity been convicted, pled guilty, or nolo contendere to a crime other than a minor traffic offense? Mr. Schultz did not answer yes to the same question on his primary qualifying party revision application. Upon review of the applications, it was determined that the renewal application the initial application and revision applications could not be approved at the staff level due to items appearing on Mr. Schultz's criminal background report. Specifically, Mr. Schultz was convicted of multiple misdemeanor charges involving drugs in 2018. In reviewing this application, staff reviewed South Carolina Code Sections 40-1-110, 40-1-130, 40-11-110 subsection A8, and 40-11-130 subsection A9.
Did staff subpoena any other persons to be here today to answer questions we might have?
No, sir.
The applicant present.
I am.
Okay. Is either the respondent represented by an attorney? Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing in this matter?
I do.
Okay. Is respondent Cody Jarrett Schultz electing to waive that right and represent himself? Is respondent Pro Circuit Electric LLC electing to waive that right and have respondent Cody Jarrett Schultz represent it pursuant to a written authorization of corporate representation? Okay. Do you have any witnesses you'd like to call?
I don't. I have a couple of letters of reference that I printed.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. All right. So at this time, why don't we go ahead and swear him in? You can pull that microphone closer to you. All right. All right, Mr. Schultz, are you ready to show us why we should consider approving your mechanical contractor license?
Yeah, I prepared a little statement.
Okay.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Cody Schultz, and I understand why I'm here. I know the board has a responsibility to protect the public and ensure licensed contractors are trustworthy and capable of holding standards of this profession. I'm not here to make excuses for my past. I take responsibility for the mistakes that I have made. Those decisions do not define the man I am today, but they are part of my story, and I own them completely. Since that time, I've worked hard to rebuild my life through honesty, accountability, and consistent actions. I became a master electrician through years of hard work, dedication, and commitment to my trade. I've built a reputation for quality workmanship, professionalism, and doing things the right way, even when no one's watching. Most importantly, I've worked to become a kind father, husband, and member of my community that my family can be proud of. Every decision I make today is centered around providing for my family and serving my customers with integrity, and setting an example for people can change through hard work and professional responsibility. I respectfully ask the board to not judge me by my past, but by the years of consistent effort I've made to become productive and a trustworthy citizen. My record since then reflects who I am today far more accurately than mistakes have brought me here. Receiving this license would mean more than growing a business. It would allow me to continue supporting my family and creating opportunities for others as well, and serving the people of South Carolina with professionalism and integrity they deserve. Thank you for your time and consideration and the opportunity to stand before you today. I sincerely appreciate it.
Is that it? Okay. So we have some questions for Mr. Schultz? Jonathan, I was looking for document 142, you know, the one that after he did, is that in the packet?
Yes, it's on 181.
One. So when did the drug possession charges, when did that all occur, Mr. Schultz?
The most recent one,
Right there, yes.
yeah. So the 2018 one, what do you mean, when did it occur?
Occur, and then you got a ticket, or did you serve jail time, or what?
No, so basically, I was out with a friend and we got pulled over. And again, I don't want to make excuses, but the cops had found something in the car and I took responsibility for it. And I hired a lawyer and we pled out to the misdemeanor that is on my report.
Did you pay a fine, or would you?
Fine, yeah.
Okay, you didn't do any kind of probation or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. Right. And that was January of 2018?
Yeah, it's been a long time, so excuse me for one moment.
I guess I see one in June. I don't. So did you get help, or, I mean, I know you heard the last applicant here.
I never been through a rehab program. I was never addicted to any drugs. This was a thing that happened in my mid-20s, out having a kind of a crazy night with people that I shouldn't have really been hanging around with.
So we have that, and that triggers, something with, when you answer yes, you did the document, but then I think we had a renewal that was where he answered no. Is that right, Jonathan?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
No. It was with the revision. So on the initial application for the company, he answered yes to that disciplinary question.
Right.
On his primary qualifying party revision application, he didn't answer yes to that question. But we still had the information, and he filled out document 142.
Right.
Probably an error on my behalf.
Okay, so we're having questions regarding that part. Him making qualifying party.
I don't think that it was really a concern with staff.
Okay, understood. All right, is there any additional, any more questions from the board for this applicant? All right, is there any additional relevant evidence you'd like us to consider, Mr. Schultz?
I do have some reference letters here from...
Yeah, so let's go ahead and... Did you want to just Tell us, I know it says Melton Electric, so is this this is owner, so this is from Larry Melton, and then
Yes.
Indigo, what is this company and who is this this?
She's actually a family law lawyer and a judge in Myrtle Beach, and I started helping her out with a project because she actually had got the bad end of the stick through a contractor, and well, she lost a lot of her own funding doing repairs on her own family's farmhouse. And I kind of felt bad for her, so I kind of donated a lot of my time to kind of helping them fix their electrical up because they had a huge fire there. And the contractor left her in bad shape. Pretty much he built walls on top of burnt hot wires and things like that. And it was, to say the least, it was a terrible thing to see. So I went in there, invested time with her to kind of help her fix some of these problems. She has, she has 4 kids and recently widowed, and so we kind of became friends, and she knows me pretty well now. I worked for Larry for a long time, 8 going on 9 years. I was hired on as a electrical foreman, superintendent. Completed a lot of large jobs for him. I worked in project management through the service side of the company. I was doing the smaller end of the projects, 6 figures or less. And now I'm doing, now I'm back to being a superintendent and doing, right now I'm doing a lot of industrial utility work for residential communities to become. So I'm in there before the houses.
Right.
I'm really looking to grow this into a slow grow into a service company, residential. I'm trying to just build something for my family, a legacy company. My wife has one more semester of business school, and then she's going to come in, and we're going to kind of tag team it and build it for our kids. We have 4 children as well. It's something I've always done. I'm a 3rd generation electrician. I've been on the truck since I've been 7 years old. So I'm very good at it. The drug charges were like kind of on my wild end of things. So when I moved to Myrtle Beach, I kind of got involved with people at the bar, and then that was my wake-up call. So I haven't been in trouble since. My kids are honor roll students. We got band practice, football practice, and braces to buy, so I'm trying to kind of move away from the harder work and get into my own thing, just to have a little bit more time with them before it's gone. So.
Any additional relevant information? Okay.
Everything.
No more questions from the board? All right, thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion to dispose of this matter or go into executive session, so.
I make a motion, we approve the application.
Second.
All right, your application's approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations, yeah. Okay, so we're on to 10C, which is medical systems and instrumentation, initial application. All right, this hearing is called to order. A quorum of the board is present. This matter is being held in person with proper notice given to the applicant. This is the matter of Medical Systems and Instrumentation Solutions, LLC, CLM, Ryan Daniel Graves, CQM, PQ. Does any member of the board have reason to be recused from consideration of this application? The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether the company Medical Systems and Instrumentation Solutions, LLC, can be approved for initial licensure as a mechanical contractor with Ryan Daniel Graves as the primary qualifying party. This hearing will be held in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Board's Practice Act and in compliance with the provisions of the South Carolina Administrative Procedures Act. Everyone is reminded that these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the chair. Mr. Eversfield, is a complete application package in our materials.
Sir.
What questions did staff have concerning this application?
Mr. Graves submitted a mechanical contractor's initial application and primary qualifying party initial application to the board on May 20th, 2026 for a Group 2 mechanical contractor's license with the air conditioning and heating classifications and himself listed as the owner and primary qualifying party. Background question number 1 on the initial applications was answered yes. This question states, has this entity or any owner, officer, partner, or member of this entity been convicted of, pled guilty, or nolo contendere to a crime other than a minor traffic offense? In this application, felony criminal convictions were disclosed, mostly consisting of criminal conspiracy, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and weapon possession by a certain person or stolen gun, and assault and battery with the intent to kill, all occurring in 2000. Upon review of the application, it was determined that the applications could not be approved at staff level due to items appearing on Mr. Graves' criminal background report. In reviewing this application, staff reviewed South Carolina Code Sections 40-1-110, 40-1-130, 40-11-110, subsection A8, and 40-11-130, subsection A9.
All right, did staff subpoena any other persons to be here today to answer questions we might have?
No, sir.
Okay. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Okay. Is either respondent represented by an attorney? Okay. You understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing in this matter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is respondent Ryan Daniel Graves electing to waive that right and represent himself?
Yes.
Is Respondent Medical Systems and Instrumentation Solutions, LLC, electing to waive that right and have Respondent Ryan Daniel Graves represent it pursuant to a written authorization of corporate representation?
Yes.
You have any witnesses?
I don't. I actually thought that the initial phone numbers and were going to be called for some of the people, and then I later learned that I could have got character references. So I don't actually have any, but I'm hoping that the track record I show right now will reflect that.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and start, Mr. Graves. You can go ahead and start telling us why we should approve your application. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to swear you in first. That's right. So if you could turn to the court reporter and all right, now we'll hear your side of things, and if you want to start from, I guess, staff. You answered yes. You identified some information in your history, right? So if you want to go through that, and then how you are now. So.
Thank you. So first, thank you so much for having me and considering this application and just having this hearing. As the other gentleman before came and said, I know it's this institution's or your body to consider safety and taking consideration for somebody like me with a pretty substantial criminal history and whether or not I would be safe to give a contractor's license to. So I'm thankful to be able to have this hearing and grateful opportunity. And I definitely hope that I can have this mechanical license. When I was 19 years old, I, with a few other guys, we decided to rob a bank. And, it materialized in not only robbing the bank, but getting in a chase and then in a pursuit to flee, me discharging my weapon in a situation to flee. But nevertheless, I actually shot an officer and hurt an officer. That's what I did. I didn't intend to do it. Nevertheless, that's what happened. And I did that at 19. I'm now 46. In the sequence of those events, I went to jail. I went to jail for a really long time. I served that time. The charges that are reflected in specifically the state charges. They give an intent to kill, but later on in 2010, as a part of the reform, that was actually, the intent was so ambiguous, and it was being put on pretty much across the board without even a requirement to show intent. So my explanation is not that I didn't do that crime, but that I had no intention to, as being a 19-year-old, somehow you can go in and make a decision that makes no sense. And then after the event, you're like, wow, how did that happen? How did it transpire in something so egregious? Well, I certainly did it. And even though initially, I just had some ideals of you do this and you get quick money, and then suddenly everything just goes and unravels in some strange, very terrible sequence of events. Since then, I have worked in the various different fields in terms of like electronics and stuff like that, but essentially I've worked in the HVAC field that I'm asking to be. I've worked inside prison walls, and then as I was released and I've done my time and finished, I've worked at several companies, mostly out in Charleston, and so working in light commercial and residential. I've worked with Holy City Heating and Air, wonderful people. They took me in, and they just gave me a ability to just work in the mechanical world out here in public. And also I worked with CR Hip Construction out in Charleston, so also great people. And so I've had a great time just trying to apply the field and as well as grow with it. I've never done any other crime other than that when I was 19. And since then, I also, I had when I was out in Charleston, I met my current missus, and we've had a young baby boy. And I moved out here. Her family's out in Camden, and we live in Camden. So I took some temporary jobs just to get the transition. But currently, I'm in biomedical engineering class because I'm with Midlands Tech. They'll transition hopefully to USC. But one of the things I want to do is that transition for coming and growing this family and having a new start is to be able to apply not only the mechanical world that I've been working in for 13 or more years, but also to bring a level of quality to medical systems. One of the things or some of the types of work that I did at CR Hip Construction, which my manager was Bill Bradshaw. He's a great crew of guys out there, but really nice and but they had a very broad spectrum of work that was in a lot of ways, to me, much more positive. I mean, yes, I do the mechanical work overall for AC systems and refrigeration, things like that, worked on boilers, but also there's just a really good purpose. I worked at the International African American Museum for CR Hip Construction, working on their boiler, and also worked on like oncology centers and for their clean rooms. So as a part of this, I would really like to apply some of the biomedical or the biology side of clean air and really quality mechanical applications to that. And that would be what I hope to do with this.
Questions from the board? So when did you get out of prison?
In 23.
2023. Okay.
Probation? Are you on probation now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's about to end, but yes, sir.
When does it end?
Within like about a month.
Nothing's happened with that. I mean, that everything's.
I've never had nothing and anything ever. I was, when I did my time, they actually, I was a role model inmate and transitioned off out in Charleston and I have never had any problems. Always had great people around me, but also that's just try to find positions that are really positive and that can contribute to just having a core idea of giving back for doing something so terrible when I was a kid, because it definitely was.
Any additional relevant information you want us to hear?
I just appreciate you guys, everybody, having this hearing, and I really hope that I can get this license.
I thank you. So I'll entertain, motion to dispose of this matter or executive session.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, do you mind if we take about a 5-minute break?
Yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to have. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a 5-minute break. You can sit your stuff there, it's fine. So this hearing is called to order. A quorum of the board is present. This matter is being held in person with the proper notice given to the applicant. This is the matter of Bennett Power Solutions LLC, CLM, Brandon Ryan Bennett, CQMPQ. Does any member of the board have reason to be recused from consideration of this application? The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether the company Bennett Power Solutions LLC can be approved for initial licensure as a mechanical contractor with Brandon Ryan Bennett as the primary qualifying party. This hearing will be held in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Board's Practice Act and in compliance with the provisions of the South Carolina Administrative Procedures Act. Everyone is reminded that these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the chair. Mr. Eversfield, is a complete application package in our materials?
Yes, sir, and it starts on page 239 of your meeting materials.
What question did staff have concerning this application?
Mr. Bennett submitted a mechanical contractor's initial application and primary qualifying party initial application to the board on April 28, 2026 for a Group 3 mechanical contractor's license with the electrical classification and himself listed as the owner and primary qualifying party. Background question number 1 on the initial applications were answered yes. This question states, has this entity or any owner, officer, partner, or member of this entity been convicted of, pled guilty or nolo contendere to a crime other than a minor traffic offense? In this application, Mr. Bennett disclosed several felonies to include grand larceny valued at $5,000 or more in 1998, grand larceny in 1999, distribution of methamphetamine 2010, several shoplifting convictions of $2,000 or less in 2015 and 2019. Mr. Bennett also disclosed several misdemeanors to include assault, simple assault, and battery in 2007, domestic violence in 2010, multiple shoplifting convictions of $2,000 or less in 2010 and 2013, and possession of less than 1 gram of methamphetamine or cocaine base in 2015. Upon review of the application, it was determined that the applications could not be approved at the staff level due to items appearing on Mr. Bennett's criminal background report. In reviewing this application, staff reviewed South Carolina Code Sections 40-1-110, 40-1-130, 40-11-110, subsection A8, and 40-11-130, subsection A9.
Did staff subpoena any other persons to be here today to answer questions we might have?
Sir.
Okay, is the applicant present? Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is either respondent represented by an attorney? Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing in this matter? Yes. Is the respondent Brandon Ryan Bennett electing to waive that right and represent himself?
Yes, sir.
Is respondent Bennett Power Solutions LLC electing to waive that right and have respondents Brandon Ryan Bennett represented pursuant to a written authorization of corporate representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any witnesses?
No, sir. I just brought character letters and some other things.
Good. All right, so let's go ahead and swear you in. All right, Mr. Bennett, are you ready to tell
Yes,
us
sir.
why you think you should be, we should approve your application?
Sir, so as you can see on the record, I had a drug and alcohol problem, and so and get in trouble, and so I guess in 2015, I had a little boy, and his mom both were on drugs. So I decided I was going to get clean, and went to court and got custody of him. Well, I went to a year-long rehab, and then come out and I got custody of him. And so I got custody of him, and I've been working out in the electrical field probably 20 years now. But once I got custody of him, I kept working. I bought us a house, and once I got us a house, and then I think in 2019, I thought I had it, I done went 4 years or so clean, so I thought I had it, so I started drinking a little bit. Then I think I got into taking pills, and then ended up going to Home Depot or something, and I don't remember much of it, but I changed the barcode, was trying to shoplift it or buy it for a lesser price. So when that happened, I about lost my son, and that day, I just decided I was done. So ever since then, I just tried to work it, learning, and ended up taking my electrical exam and passed, just trying to make a better life for me and my family. So now we're working for a generator company, the manufacturer for the data centers. They build generators. So I got 2 employees. We do all the electrical wiring, hang the panels and everything for them. They're W-2 employees. I've gotten my generator installer certificate since then. I got liability insurance, workers' comp. I brought 2 invoices also. It shows, the last 2 invoices shows the type of money, that we bring in a week. So, you wouldn't have to worry about stealing, all the past stealing stuff. I deal with a good bit of money. I got a home equity line of credit. It's like about $70,000 that I got access to. So, I got a bond, that is suffice for the Class 3. And I just got a lot of opportunities if I can get this, like hooking the generators up out in the field. I got some other general contractors that want to use me. So, and I probably got like 22 years of experience. When I went to prison, I think 2012, I was the electrician in the maintenance for the whole.
Questions?
And I'd see you've got some invoices here from, I think, July and one coming up.
Or tomorrow. It says
August.
in August, but yeah, it's tomorrow.
Due date's August, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you pulling any permits for those jobs?
No, sir. So they're the manufacturer of the generators. So they build the generators and then they sell them to the data centers. So you don't have to be licensed because they're UL listed. And so you don't have to be unless I go out in the field and hook them up, I don't have to be licensed. And I don't work on it's just for the generators that the containers are in. So,
You're working on equipment.
yes, sir. Apparatus, yeah.
Not doing the install?
No, sir. But he's going to give me if y'all give me my license, he's going to give me the opportunity to go to Northmark and do some. Right now, they have like a general contractor going out there that he works at, him and his crew work at the plant also, and then they'll go out there and hook them up.
So you did time. So
Yes, sir.
when you were in prison, what was that for? Was that for the grand larceny, or was that for?
Yes, the first time I got the grand larceny, and I think when he said the second one, that is a violation of probation, and then they sent me to prison. And then the second one was for the manufacturing meth.
So when's the last time you were in prison? Or
2012.
2012, you got out of prison?
No, sir, that's when I went in. I done 2 years, so 2014, yeah.
Okay, so you got out of prison in 2014, haven't been back to prison, but you've got into a little bit of trouble with this shoplifting stuff, and that didn't activate you going back to prison, though, huh?
No, sir.
So what happened about that? You just had to pay a fine, or
So I went to court and they gave me house arrest. So I wore an ankle monitor for, I think, 6 months. And after that, and I had to go to probation. I think I did like 2 years probation. They let me out off of it. I ain't had a speeding ticket or any trouble since 2019. After that day, I just decided I was done. So I got 2 little boys now, so I got them looking up to me and trying to be a role model for them. So
what are you doing to stop yourself from drinking and all that?
I go to AA meetings, NA meetings, and then I'm involved in church. I brought a character letter from my pastor. I help coach. I'm an assistant coach for the boys' baseball teams, and just try to stay active, help other recovering addicts, and just,
Look at the character letters. There's one from Harley Sanders, LEL International. Who's that?
that is the plant manager for the generator manufacturer.
Who is Matt Wardlaw with Clear Path Landworks?
Yes, sir. So he used to be the general contractor for. I worked for an electrical company, Planet Connections, and I was I was a lead at run a crew, and he was over the like 3 or 4 Guthries I done chicken finger place that I wired up, and so I think I worked for him for a few years. I've done 3 or 4 jobs for him. He went out on his own now. He does something else.
Got Stephen Wall.
Yes, sir. So Stephen is he's the lawyer I use for my custody battle, and we've done work at his office when I was with Planet Connection. We've done work at his house when I was with Planet, and I think work at his parents' house also that he went through Planet to do.
Scott Cannon, is that right?
Yes, sir. He's my pastor at Jonesville Baptist, and so become friends with him. I take the kids over there and go swimming. I just try to surround myself with people that I can better myself, look up to, and just they'll hold me accountable. Yes, sir. So he's been my helper since he was probably 20. He's 28 now, and he come to work with me. So he works on the generators with us.
Brooke Sugarart.
That's my cousin. So she wanted to write a letter when we was talking about it one Sunday eating, and I was telling her I had to get up to carry the letter. So she wanted to write one. Yes, sir. She wanted to write one also.
Questions from the board?
Additional questions?
Mr. Bennett, I think the last incident you had was this Home Depot.
Yes, sir.
My impression, my memory on that.
Yes, sir.
What year was that?
2019.
19.
Yes,
What,
sir.
can you maybe expand on what triggered that? I know you said started or drank or was
So,
drinking.
I just started, yeah, so I had been clean for a while, and I started doing good, bought a house, and just thought I didn't need to go to meetings or just didn't have to do anything, just thought I had it, and then started drinking, trying to go out, and next thing you know, I was getting pills, and then I bought some pills from a lady that I bought, was buying them from, and then I took some, and I don't remember it, so it was probably Xanax or something, but I just blacked out, went in Home Depot and was changing the barcodes on something and trying to buy it.
You under certain stress? I mean, running a business is stressful.
Well, at the time, I was just working for another electrical contractor.
Right.
Not really. I just thought I had it. Just made a stupid mistake. And sobriety, you have to stay on it or it'll creep up on you and you'll think next thing you know, you're in trouble. So I had to stay on it, and I'm aware of that. And now I have two little boys that, depend on me. So I can't afford to mess up. Yes.
I think you said you went through a rehab program.
Yes, sir.
When did you do that?
So I went through that in 2014. It was in Anderson, and so you start off at the Anderson, the shelter in downtown Anderson, and you'll work for a little bit, and then you go to what they call the farm, and it's just like it's spiritual based, and you just have people. They pretty much come in, teach you the Bible, teach you 12-step programs, stuff like that.
So you haven't done any rehab since that?
No, sir. That relapse was probably 2 weeks when the 2019 happened. So it took it, and it was like that, and ever since then, I go to meetings and stuff like that there.
You do go to your AA meetings and AN meetings, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I go to Celebrate Recovery also.
You're active.
Yes, sir.